It's all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. She is experienced and trained professional nurse, holistic health coach, health and wellness advocate, grief educator, speaker, and workshop presenter. No other than Ms. Jane Dye. Welcome, Miss Jane, our Book 101 review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Certainly, it's a pleasure to be on the show. So, as you mentioned, I'm an experienced professional nurse. I chose to expand my nursing practice by becoming a health coach to better serve the needs of my clients who are adults who want to create and sustain abundant health and wellness as they age. My education has equipped me with extensive knowledge in holistic nutrition, health coaching, and preventive health. Um, but my whole life changed after experiencing the death of my middle son, Christopher. I expanded my practice also to become a certified grief educator. And in that capacity, I am committed to providing the highest level of grief support through education, experience, and insights into the often unacknowledged rocky terrain of grief. We won't be talking about that directly this evening, but it is another service I provide. And you asked what was missing, and that's an important part of who I am and what I do now.
Definitely. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Miss Jane. Thank you. And today, let's talk about something good today. Health and wellness. Topic deeply about universal, allowing a rich conversation for our viewers and of course listeners right now. So let's start with the common misconception. Many people equate holistic with the alternative medicine. How do you define a truly holistic approach to health, and how does it fundamentally differ from conventional system of focus one?
Well, holistic health concerns itself with all aspects of health and wellness. So when we talk about nourishment, we don't talk about just the food we eat, it's the things we do, it's the relationships we have. There are so many different important aspects to our health and wellness. And a holistic approach takes all of those into consideration when both assessing and choosing treatment modalities to help people have greater health and wellness.
Greater wellness and people holistic approaches to health and wellness will be our main topic with Miss Jane. And the mind and body are often treated separately in healthcare. Can you share powerful example of how physical ailment can be a direct manifestation of unresolved mental or emotional state and vice versa?
Well, if I may, I would love to share the book that
Please.
inspired a lot of this mindset and practice for me. The title of the book is Cured: The Life-Changing Science of Spontaneous Healing by Dr. Jeffrey Rediger.
Mm.
So it was one of the most important books I've read, published in 2020, and is still so relevant to holistic health and healing today, providing insight and guidance towards healing and preventing disease that has influenced my professional and my personal health and wellness journey. So he spent over 15 years studying spontaneous healing and pioneering the use of scientific tools to investigate recoveries from incurable illnesses. So he was careful to note that he adopted stringent criteria for the cases he studied. And he only studied cases where clear medical diagnosis and cure that could not be explained by external factors like the patient receiving experimental medicine. So it was really looking at working through America's top hospitals and healing centers around the world and explaining the science behind what are often considered miracles and uncovering insights into why some people beat the odds. And I go through that long discussion about cures. So when we talk about mind body healing, we have to look at the root cause of illness. And Dr. Rediger in Cured shows how to create the environment that sets the stage for healing and reveals the patterns behind healing and explains the physical and mental principles associated with recovery. So first, we need to physically heal our diet and our immune systems. And second, we need to mentally heal our stress response and our identities. So what this all comes down to is much of our physical reality is created in our minds. So our perception changes our experience, even to the point of changing our physical bodies. And thus the healing of our identity may be the greatest tool to recovery. And I've seen this with my clients in my practice.
Miss Jane, in a world of obsessed with biohacking and optimization, how does we pursue a holistic wellness without becoming just another source of anxiety or perfectionism?
Well, there are basically four pillars of health as described in the book, which certainly makes it clear that first, the pillar of health is nutrition. So,
Yes.
as Dr. Rediker states, and others, and I believe, are what we call the American Standard Diet is filled with ultra processed foods that have high quantities of refined sugars, enriched flours, and other ingredients that are potentially toxic to the human body. Second pillar of health is our immune system, which needs to be strengthened. It's often negatively affected by poor nutrition and stress, which can produce chronic inflammation, which weakens the immune response. Third pillar would be minimizing that chronic stress through a variety of nourishing practices and prioritizing one's health, like consider it the most important pillar because it motivates the other three. So when we can look towards healing our identities and our false beliefs around health and wellness, and often people neglect their own well-being to serve others. And sometimes, somebody needs to encounter their own struggle or their own illness to realize that they need to focus on what creates their life and authentic well-being for them.
So, Miss Jane, what are the core pillars of holistic health that you find are most often neglected in our modern, fast paced lives, and why is addressing them so transformative?
Well, I'm going to get into the weeds a little here because what stood out most for me amongst those pillars of health that I mentioned is that Dr. Rediker demonstrates that love and social connections are powerful medicines. The biology of connection to explain that social interactions and connections and feelings of love stimulate the vagus nerve, releasing oxytocin and other beneficial hormones. And this can lead to reduced inflammation, improved immune function, and lower stress levels and achieve better cardiovascular health. So what was the most remarkable discovery for me was that learning that the profound impact of micro connections, which Dr. Rediger explains it as, quote, a little power boost that fuels our brain with a feeling of love. And of course, you can get these boosts with your close family and friends, but they can also come from contact with your neighbor, your local barista, even a stranger on the street or in the grocery store. So even brief, positive interactions with others can have cumulative health benefits. So cultivating these moments in daily life can significantly impact overall well-being.
Miss Jane, on the mind body connection and the internal landscape, chronic stress is often called the health epidemic of the 21st century. Beyond meditation apps, what are some truly effective holistic strategies for managing our stress response at a nervous system level?
Well, as I mentioned, those micro connections are critical. Um, Practices that help move our emotions through our body um, are critical to help us process those energies that show up in ways that disturb our, balance. So again, when we feel frequent moments of love, compassion, and empathy throughout our days, we just live more easily and more freely. Meditation is a great practice to help you slow down and be more aware of your present situation or environment, and to connect with yourself in a small way. So slowing down in many ways in this fast-paced society is very helpful and very important to make a change towards a positive.
Miss Jane, our gut is often called our second brain. How does the health of our gut microbiome directly influence our mental well being? What is a dietary or lifestyle change people can make it to support this connection?
Well, yeah, when you do change your diet to whole foods that can support the microbiota in the gut, it directly affects how everything functions in the body, including your immune system, which will affect your vagal nerve tone, and provide an opportunity for both your brain, your heart, and your gut to work in harmony to produce more health and wellness. There's really very simple changes that you can make that can significantly improve the gut microbiota. I myself found in my 50s that I had significant food sensitivities. And through changing my diet and my lifestyle and some practices that helped me slow down, and certainly has done for my clients as well, it was able to establish a better gut function, which also relates to supporting your neurology.
Miss Jane, what does the quality of our sleep act as a keynote habit that influences every other aspect of our holistic health, from our emotional resilience to our physical recovery?
Oh, sleep is the most underrated health behavior by most people, I think. Not so much by the health and wellness profession, especially holistic health. Sleep will reset your hormones and your circadian rhythm. I mean, in our society today, we seem to celebrate people burning it from both ends, although I think that's changing. I think
Mm,
people are
yes.
realizing that when they sleep well, they live well. Um,
Yes.
and it's really something that all of us notice at least twice a year when when the clocks change, when we either fall back or we
Mm-hmm.
spring ahead. If you look at the data, particularly in springing ahead, it is the day after the clocks change that we have the greatest number of accidents. That 1 hour shift, as small as that may seem, really disrupts our circadian rhythms and how we're able to function in a wakeful and healthy state.
So, Miss Jane, do you want to abolish that time changing or?
I mean, I think it would be to our benefit.
Mm,
I think you have to look at a lot of other reasons why it was first established. It was established to provide opportunities for businesses. I don't think the research, and again, this is not my area, but I don't know that the research really supports keeping that system in place, especially if we're talking about health and wellness.
On integration and personal journey, for someone feeling overwhelmed and wanting to start, what is one single smallest change you recommend that can create a positive ripple effect across all over the areas of their health?
It's a concept called crowding out. And so many changes around health and wellness focus on denial and deprivation, like what we have to give up, what we have to do without. And when you use the concept of crowding out, it means adding in good food, healthy food, and activities that you enjoy that can have an additive effect, so that you are crowding out the ones that don't serve you as well. Simple example might be hydration. 75% of Americans tend to be dehydrated.
Yes.
Something as simple as starting your day with a glass of water, room temp, cool, with, without, lemon, however you like it, is an important start to the day. It's the teeniest, tiniest thing you could do to start hydrating your body and seeing if it really helps you start your day. The other simple thing would be if you're somebody who doesn't currently include produce in your meals. That would be a really easy switch to add in what you like. Most Americans get most of their antioxidant from coffee, and coffee is a good supply, but it certainly doesn't handle the full spectrum of nutrients that we need. So adding produce is huge also for the fact that most Americans are also deficient in fiber, which has a lot to do with that gut health that you questioned earlier. So those things would be really simple. And everybody tries to get rid of what's the hardest thing first. You just add in what's really easy, and make small steps over time, and you become more open to making more.
Yes, open to making more. Community and connection are often overlooked, Miss Jane. Pillars of health. How does loneliness and lack of social connection physically impact us, and how we cultivate a genuine community as form of wellness?
It's important that you brought that up, Daniel. Even Dr. Rediger in Cure discusses how loneliness is a health risk. Social isolation and loneliness are associated with an increased risk of various diseases. It even increases your risk of an early death by 20%. So prioritizing social connections is as important for health as diet and exercise. So it's really time to expand our definition of love and connection and begin to see how all the moments of that micro connection I mentioned earlier as meaningful and important. So how nice to feel frequent moments of love, compassion, and empathy throughout our days, easily and for free. And they will boost our immune system, help us sleep better, reduce our stress hormones, and lower inflammation in our body. And the research suggests that it's exactly what is happening, especially when our micro connections are in person.
Lower inflammation. Well, I like that, Miss Jane. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season. Abstract poetry in second season. A book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in second season. A food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101, Love Letters, Movie 101, Music 101 are in fourth season, and Science 101, Sex 101 in second season, and My Baby Podcast, Law 101, Mental Health 101, and Bible Verses 101. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Jane, finally, if you could have everyone embrace one core of philosophy or daily practice to guide the entire holistic health, what would it be?
It would be the micro connections. because if we are able to engage with other people, especially in person, even for just a brief moment, the impact on our health is truly significant.
Truly, truly significant. It will thrive for sure. So, Miss Jane Dye, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy, your business, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Certainly, if you want to connect with me, you can reach me most easily through my website, which is my name. So it's janekdye.com.
Yes, people, let's support Miss Jane because if you support her for sure, more and more empowering coaching to come, more and more empowering advocacy to rise. So, Miss Jane, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Daniel. It's been a pleasure.
Body people, see you soon.